What's good all day? All day found. What's good with you? So, welcome back. We're looking at week 8 of the NFL 25 NFL season. I made picks, you watched, and now we're going to compare what I predicted to what actually happened. This is reality sports, so let's get to it. So, the first game, the Dolphins and the Falcons. So, I predicted that the Falcons was going to blow out the Dolphins 27-0. I thought Michael Penix and company was going to do their thing, but unfortunately they did not. The Dolphins, they flipped the script. They said they are going to blow out the Falcons, and that's exactly what they did, 34-10. So I backhanded Miami very hard. I said that they was going to. I said that the Atlanta was going to go out, was going to shut out Miami, and they did. So it was a really good game for Tua. I mean, good game for Tua. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm still not buying into that. I mean, it was one game, and Tua's going to have to show me a whole lot for me to. He's going to have to show me more for me to think that he is even worthy of keeping his starting position. So, I think this says more about the Atlanta Falcons than the Miami Dolphins. The Atlanta Falcons are being extremely inconsistent right now. Kirk Cousins. Now, I will say this: Kirk Cousins is obviously never has been the answer. They gave Kirk Cousins all that money, and he's just playing terrible. So, I think they should just go ahead and trade Kirk Cousins or get rid of Kirk Cousins. They're gonna have to eat the money, that contract. They're just gonna have to eat it. They have to do what the Broncos did. They're just gonna have to eat that contract. I am not for Kirk Cousins staying on that team. I think they can do better. I think they can get more for that. So, yeah, but I think Kirk Cousins being on the Atlanta Falcons is costing them more than it's helping them right now. And Michael Penix, unfortunately, Michael Penix is out. I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but Atlanta's going to need him back. Now, it wasn't like Michael Penix when he was in the lineup. He was doing all that great, but he was holding apart and he was playing okay. I think I would like to see more from Michael Penix when he does come back, but he's still young. And I always said it before. I said that the thing about Michael Penix, I've always liked Michael Penix, but I said before that one thing that does concern me of him is his injuries, because when I saw him at the injury when I saw him the injuries that he was facing in college, I was hoping that wasn't going to translate into the NFL, which more than likely it mostly almost always does. And sometimes it doesn't though. Sometimes players do get their act together when it comes to injuries. Sometimes, but I mean, I think this is the first serious injury first injury. Probably not the first injury, but first time Michael Penix has been out of the lineup. I need to do my research. I don't know that for sure, but again, hopefully it's not that big of a deal. Hopefully this is not a recurring thing for Michael Penix where he's always out of the lineup, where he's always affecting the team. But when his injuries are always affecting the team, but the Falcons got to get it together. They have not been playing well, and they have been very inconsistent. And I said I will be honest. I said that Falcons, the way they're playing right now, the way they're built, with Raheem Morris, with him calling a great defense, and the Falcons' offense looking phenomenal, with Bijan Robinson looking great. I was saying that they're built; they can go all the way. They can beat any team. And now they're not playing well. They're playing very inconsistent. So, but that's the thing about the NFL. Sometimes you're high, sometimes you're low, sometimes you're right in the middle. And so the Falcons, they can get back on track. They can start winning again, and they can make a run. They still can do it. They have the talent, and they have a coach that I do believe in. So they need to get it together, because if they don't, it's not going to be a good look, because it's nothing more upsetting when a team has all that talent, young talent, and they don't even have to start playing these players as of yet, and they're not winning anything. So Atlanta has to get it together. They have to. So I think Tua threw for 4 touchdowns. Good for him. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing much more to say about this game. This game was a huge blowout. Terrible game. It's bad game on the Falcons. So hopefully the Falcons can get it. Hopefully the Falcons can bounce back. The Bears and the Ravens. So I predicted the Bears to blow out the Ravens, and I was wrong. Get on this game. I said the Bears was going to beat the Ravens 30-3. The Ravens beat the Bears 30-16. So that's just. Caleb Williams, he missed a wide open. I heard he missed a wide open pass in the end zone. The thing about Caleb Williams, man, he didn't play his best game this game. I don't think he's playing bad this season, but I would like to see more from Caleb Williams. I think though that Caleb Williams though, I think it's gonna take time for him to really gel into Ben Johnson's offense. I think the longer him and Ben Johnson stays together, the better Caleb Williams will become. I think Ben Johnson is the perfect coach for Caleb Williams. So the Bears, I think the Bears can bounce back from this game. This was a terrible game. They got blown out by the Ravens, surprisingly, but it was a good win for the Ravens. Very good win for the Ravens. So if the Ravens can pick up and keep on winning, when Lamar Jackson returns, the Ravens are in for they can probably make some noise when Lamar Jackson comes back. Now the Bills and the Panthers. I said that the Bills was going to beat the Panthers 17-12. Another blowout. The Bills blew out the Panthers 40-9. So look, again, another huge blowout. And another game that I was completely wrong on. Well, wrong on the score. So, but hey, it was a great win by the Bills. The Bills are rolling. Josh Allen is rolling, and the Panthers, it's not looking good for them right now. They can, but again, Bryce Young was out. The Panthers didn't have their quarterback, and just Andy Dalton just looked god awful. Looked terrible this game, very very terrible. So hopefully that hopefully the Panthers can get Bryce Young back and they can start back rolling. Because they did look like when Bryce Young was in that lineup, it did look like that the Panthers looked like a much better team. They played much better, but when you lose your star quarterback, it hurts the whole entire team. So the next game, Jets Bengals. So I said that the Bengals was going to beat the Jets 29-14, and the Jets surprisingly beat the Bengals 39-38. So that was a very surprising game, surprising score, a very surprising win by the Jets. And so, it's not really much to say about this game. I will say that Joe Flacco, he tries to pass the ball way too much to Jamar Chase. Joe Flacco needs to learn to distribute the ball. Now, I get it. You got somebody like Jamar Chase, you're going to want to keep passing him the ball. I get it. But you have to be able to distribute the ball, and so they're going to have to, so Joe Flacco's going to have to learn to do that. And just both defenses are just terrible. I mean, the Jets has all that talent on their defense and just nowhere to be seen. The Bengals, the Bengals always has a terrible defense, but yeah, I don't know. This game was it was a terrible game all around. So yeah, hopefully the Bengals can win some games. So when they get Joe Burrow back, they can try to make a run for the playoffs. But it's pretty much looking like it's a wrap for the Bengals. It's pretty much looking like that. The Jets got their first win, so congratulations on the Jets. But it's whatever. I mean, but hey, one thing about a win is that you can capitalize on it. You can stack it. So hey, maybe could this be the first win of many wins for the New York Jets? Absolutely not. I don't think so. No, but it has been a very very disappointing year for the New York Jets. I mean, their defense can at least be better. You got Aaron Glenn. You got all that talent on defense. Sauce Gardner, he's a bust. He hasn't been good since his rookie season. I have not seen Sauce Gardner get any better. The Jets, they're a bad team, a terrible team, and I hope Aaron Glenn doesn't get fired just after his first year. I would like to see him at least with the Jets for a few more years, but it's not looking good at all for the Jets. But yeah, let's keep it pushing. The 49ers, Texans. So I said that the 49ers was going to beat the Texans 21-20. And I was wrong. The Texans beat the 49ers 26-15. So I was wrong on a lot of games this game. Gee, this week, man, it was a bad week. It wasn't really a really good week of football this week. I mean, too many blowouts, man. Too many blowouts. Like, goodness gracious. But hey, I mean, Mac Jones, he didn't play too well. CJ Stroud looked pretty good. He looked pretty good against the 49ers. Against that 49ers defense. It's pretty solid. But I'm not buying into CJ Stroud. I need to see more from him. because he has not played well for a while now. And so all of a sudden he plays okay against the 49ers. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my goodness, CJ Stroud is back. No, I need to see more from CJ Stroud. And I would like to see more from Mac Jones as well, too. So not Mac Jones didn't play his best game. But, I think he can. The Texans do have a very, very, very good defense. And I like, what's his name? Is it Shakur? I like that linebacker. I love that linebacker. He plays so aggressive. He plays like he plays like back in the 2000s. He plays like he's supposed to be on that Ravens 2000 defense. I love how aggressive and intense and physical he plays. It's not many defensive players that plays like that. Like how Shakur, I don't think Shakur, but I think it's Al Shakur or something like that. Yeah, I just love how he plays. He plays so physical. He plays with such physicality. That's how, and I wish more linebackers in this game would play that. I wish some of the Chargers linebackers would play like that. Shoot, the Chargers need a linebacker like that. But anyway, let's keep it pushing. Browns, Patriots. I said the Patriots were going to beat the Browns 23-10. So I was pretty almost kind of accurate on this. So the Patriots beat the Browns 32-13. So this was solid for me on my pick, So the Patriots offense and defense both showed up, and Mac Jones, he is playing like a top 5 quarterback right now. I'm not saying he is a top 5 quarterback, but he's playing like one. He's playing phenomenally well, and he's definitely by far playing the best amongst the rookie quarterbacks last year in his second year. This year, he's playing better than all of them. So Mac Jones, I love what I'm seeing from him. I love it. The Patriots has found their franchise quarterback. If Mac Jones can keep getting better, like I said, you're never the same in the NFL. You're either getting worse, you're either getting better. Caleb Williams is slowly getting better. I can see it in his games. He's still making some throws. He's still kind of acting like he's confused, but I can see Caleb Williams slowly progressing. If Caleb Williams needs to put more touch and needs to play a little bit more intelligent, But you see all the tangibles there with Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels has gotten worse this year. Now I think Jaden Daniels can bounce back next year, but I mean he's injured this year. I mean he's been getting hurt, so I can't think of the other quarterbacks last year, this year. But Mac Jones, he's playing good. He's playing really well. And Mike Vrabel is coaching very well. The Patriots are making some noise. They're amongst the best teams in the NFL right now. They truly are. And they got to stay consistent, though, because we still got a lot of football left. So if the Patriots can keep playing like this, they can make some noise in the playoffs. But they have to keep playing like this. They have to keep going. So all right, Giants, Eagles. So I said that the Giants was going to beat the Eagles. Oh wait, I said that. Oh my God, I can't believe I said that. That was one of my bold predictions. It's all right. I decided to say that the Giants was going to beat them. I don't know why I did that. Well, I do know. I wanted to do a bold prediction, but I said the Giants was going to beat the Eagles 24-23. The Eagles beat the Giants 38-20. So it was a bold prediction for the Giants, and that went the opposite direction. So the Eagles, they execute at a very high level. Even with their missing pieces. A.J. Brown did not play. Jalen Hurts played very well. And unfortunately, Cam Scatterboo, he got hurt. Gruesome. I think it was an ankle injury. Very gruesome ankle injury. He's out for the season. Not more than likely, he's out for the season. He should be ready by OTAs. So he'll be back by next year. Next year. And it's up for Tyron Tracy to step it up, and he's a pretty good running back. He kind of fell off, but I think he should be better, bounce back. And Jackson Dart, the Giants are going to. I don't want to say they need to change his playing style, but if Jackson Dart doesn't change his playing style, he's going to be out for the season as well, because he's very aggressive, he's very physical. I love his intensity. And he does bring the juice to the Giants, is what they need. But if he keeps playing like the way he's playing, he's going to get hurt. I mean, he's already being hurt, but he's going to get even hurt more. Like The injuries are going to get up. They're going to be way worse. So the Giants needs to protect Jackson Dart. He's their franchise quarterback. So yeah, and really they absolutely have nothing but him now, and so it's all on him. So let's see what he can do. Let's see what he can do. They really don't have a running game. They're going to have to. Hopefully they can establish one with Tyrone Tracy. But outside of that, they don't really have anything else. So they did put up a good fight against the Eagles. They just didn't have enough. They didn't have enough. Their Giants defense is terrible. I was expecting their defense to be a lot better than what they're playing. They have the defensive personnel to be a better defense. They have the personnel on that defensive line to be a lot better than what they're showing, which is why I said they could have made a run to the playoffs. And right now, they're not playing well at all. And Brian Dable needs to get it together. So, yeah, but whatever. I don't know. There's nothing much else to say about that game. Jalen Hurts played very well, 4 TDs. And yeah, Jackson Dart, he played a good game. So, yeah. Buccaneers Saints. I said that the Buccaneers is going to beat the Saints 20-15. The Buccaneers beat the Saints actually 23-3. So I wasn't too far off, you know. So I was right on the winner. The margin was bigger, a little bit bigger than I thought. Yeah. So Baker Mayfield hasn't been playing too well the past couple of weeks. Now I get it. Mike Evans is out. Emeka Ibuka, he hasn't been the same since that injury. So I get it, but one thing I learned about Baker Mayfield is when you bring a lot of pressure to him, when you bring the house to him, he doesn't play very well. He makes bad decisions under pressure. So that's one thing I did notice about Baker Mayfield. But they won, and hopefully Baker Mayfield can start playing a little bit better. And there's no excuses. I get it. You know, his weapons are out, but he showed that he could play well without his weapons. So, you know, this was an off game, like last week was too. But he needs to be more consistent. He's obviously out the playoff picture right now because he hasn't been consistent. So he needs to start being consistent. They can start winning so they can continue to keep winning games, and they can make a run into the playoffs. All right, so yeah, but like the Saints has an okay defense, so I get that. But like I said, when you bring a lot of pressure to Baker Mayfield, he makes bad mistakes, and then teams know that. So, you know, so Baker Mayfield is going to have to be a little bit better and a little more consistent under pressure. Cowboys Broncos, the Cowboys got dog walked by the Broncos, and again, terrible prediction. I said the Cowboys was going to beat the Broncos 35-25. I don't think I've been wrong on this many games ever. I think I just wanted to do a lot of real predictions and see if I was right. I think I did these predictions out of fun. But yeah, the Broncos beat the Cowboys 44-24. It was a big miss. So, yeah. Dak Prescott didn't play that well at all. The Broncos, they freaking suffocated the Cowboys offense. And yeah, the Broncos looking good. They're looking great. They're looking very, very good right now. Like they're looking like an elite team. They really are. So hopefully the Cowboys can bounce back from this loss, which I don't really think they will. You know, the thing about the Cowboys, they get a good win, everybody's all over them. And you got Skip Bayless running his mouth. We can make a run to the Super Bowl. It's always this talk about the Cowboys all the time. You know, it's just whatever. The Cowboys is going to be the Cowboys. They're going to have some good wins. They're going to have some great wins. And then they're probably going to miss the playoffs. And if they do go to the playoffs, they're going to get booted out of the playoffs. It's the same old story with the Cowboys. Dak Prescott is a good quarterback. I like Dak Prescott, but I think he's severely overrated, just like the Cowboys. So that's that. Let's keep it pushing. Titans, Colts. I said the Colts was going to beat the Titans 27-18. It was kind of accurate on this. The Colts beat the Titans 38-14. Okay, so yeah, Colts right now are looking like the best team in the NFL. Like they're just looking like the best. They kind of are the best team in the NFL right now. Right now they are. You know, I'll say maybe the Colts, Patriots, Chiefs. Those three teams right there. One of those three are the best teams in the NFL. One of those three. Packers Steelers. This was a pretty good game last night. It was okay. Well, it was okay. I said that the Steelers was going to beat the Packers 25-23. The Packers beat the Steelers 35-25. So I was just so wrong on a lot of these games, but it's all good. Aaron Rodgers was okay early on, and he just started becoming a little more average later on in the game. You know, Aaron Rodgers is playing like he doesn't want to get hit. He's throwing the ball out way too fast, way too hard. You know, way too quick, I should say, before him letting the play develop. But perhaps if he's going to be playing like that, the play calling needs to be a little bit better. The scheming needs to be a little better. The offense needs to play a little better. You know, but the routes that the receivers are running needs to be more better that pertains to how Rodgers wants to play. But Rodgers, I mean, he's a 41-year-old man, and he's playing, so he won't get hit. He doesn't want to get hit. You know, so I don't know, but this has to be Rodgers last year. He's just not. He's not being the factor to teams getting better. The Steelers looks exactly like the Steelers, literally. Rodgers is not playing any better than what the Steelers' previous quarterbacks, really, to be honest. I mean, maybe he is slightly, but it's not. He's not like Aaron Rodgers is looking severely average, very average. So I don't know, and it's looking like the Steelers is probably going to win no more than 9 games this year, literally, maybe 10. You know, and I don't think the Steelers is going to. I don't think the Steelers is going to win a playoff game this year. Their defense, again, just like the freaking Giants or they have, or I can't think of another team, or like the Jets. They have the personnel to have a great defense, and their defense is not playing well. You let the Packers drop 35 points on you. That's pathetic. I don't know what's going on with the Steelers defense. You have Jalen Ramsey, TJ Watt, Hayward. You got Wilson. I think it's Patrick Wilson. Yeah, I think it's Patrick Wilson. You got freaking McQueen. You got all these elite players, and they're not playing as a unit at all. It's bad. I mean, how do you have this elite talent on your defense and you're playing like this? You know, and I have to blame this on Tomlin. I have to blame it on Mike Tomlin. The Steelers are just an average team. They're not good. They're average. And the Packers shown that. The Packers on the other side are a very good team. And Jordan Love, he's playing great. He's playing like a young mini. I won't say he's playing like Aaron Rodgers back in his day, but his style of playing is becoming like Aaron Rodgers, is what I should say. You can tell that Aaron Rodgers definitely showed him some things, taught him some things. You know, was definitely his mentor. So I like what I'm seeing out of Jordan Love. As long as Jordan Love just keeps advancing, keep excelling, he's going to be great. It's going to be great, and maybe he could bring a Lombardi to Green Bay. Maybe, I don't know, but you know, Michael Parsons playing well. I think Michael Parsons being on the Packers is going to give them 1 to 2 games that they shouldn't win. That's because they have Michael Parsons, and I actually think this game was one of those games. If Michael Parsons wasn't on the Packers, the Steelers more than likely probably would have won. Because like I said, the Steelers were playing well, and Rodgers was playing very well early on, and then they just kind of just plateaued, sort of. And Michael Parsons had a lot to do with that. So Michael Parsons actually is having a lot to do with some of the Packers' wins. So that's what I'm saying. I think Michael Parsons being there was an investment to them winning at least 1 or 2 games this year that they aren't supposed to win. So, yeah, that's that. The Packers are definitely a team that's going to get better early on in the year, because they're still a very, very young team, and they're still learning, and they're still gaining experience, and they have a really good coach, or I should say great coach that I believe in, that I like, LaFleur. And yeah, I like the Packers, and I liked them last year. One thing I like about them is that they are a very consistent, steady team. It's like they're good, but we're just waiting for them to take that next step. And I don't. The Packers aren't a team that I think that's getting worse. I think they're a team that's slowly getting better, very very slow, year in year out. Same for Jordan Love. He's like I feel like Jordan Love is slowly getting better. Like he's slowly every single year taking the next step above, and that's a recipe for greatness, for elite. Like I said, you're never just saying you're either getting better or you're getting worse. Packers are slowly growing. They're one of those teams that's slowly getting better. You know, same for the Chargers. You know, I think same for the Chargers. They're kind of like the team they're one of those teams too that's slowly kind of getting better too, slowly. And Justin Herbert, I think Justin Herbert has a lot to say with that because he's slowly getting good, great, better, very much better. You know, so yeah, but that's that. You know, and that's all I have. You know, that was my rundown, my week 8 preview, or yeah, week 8 review. So thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Give me your thoughts, ideas. You know what you thought about my predictions, what you thought about these week 8 games. You know, chime in the chats, and yeah, I'll talk to you all very soon. Peace all day.